Okay, so there are a bunch of new reports flying around about Avengers Doomsday, and honestly, they are pretty shocking. We're talking some devastating losses for the MCU, but here's the thing. What if these rumors aren't just separate little leaks? What if they're all pieces of the same puzzle? Let's connect the dots.
And yeah, I'm right there with the source material on this one. As a fan, this stuff is rough to hear, you know? The idea that some of our favorite characters are on the chopping block, it definitely puts you on edge.
Because this is what's so wild. We're not just talking about 3 random disconnected rumors. When you really dig in and look at them together, they start to look less like rumors and more like 3 chapters of one giant epic story. And believe it or not, it all seems to circle back to what one character is doing.
All right, let's dive in. And we have to start with the biggest, most gut-wrenching report of the bunch. This is the one that really sets the stage for, well, for everything.
So, according to the insider My Time to Shine Hello, Doctor Doom literally launches a full-scale attack on the TVA, and he supposedly wipes everyone out. I mean everyone, including Loki, you know, the one guy holding the entire multiverse together. It's an absolutely brutal opening move, and when you think about why, it's actually kind of terrifying.
Think about it, right? You've got Doctor Doom, a guy whose entire deal is absolute control, total order. And on the other side, you have the new TVA, led by Loki, which is all about protecting free will and letting all those branching timelines exist. They are like oil and water. They just cannot coexist. So for a guy like Doom, the TVA isn't some noble organization, it's a giant cosmic annoyance that's gotta go.
So, okay, but why go after Loki specifically? Well, it all comes down to the endgame. If the big plan is to have a battle world with God Emperor Doom on the throne, and a lot of leaks are pointing that way, then you've got to get rid of the guy who is literally holding the multiverse together. It's simple, really. You can't have a God Emperor if there's another God holding all the strings.
Okay, I know, that's a pretty bleak way to start. But hold on. The next piece of this puzzle actually gives us a little bit of hope, a potential way out. Because for an Asgardian, maybe, just maybe, falling in battle isn't the end. It's just the start of the next round.
So picture this. The theory is that somewhere in Doomsday, Thor goes up against Doom, and he gets absolutely wrecked. We're talking totally beaten down. And in that moment of pure desperation with nothing left, he prays to his father, Odin, for help.
And just when you think it's all over, his prayer is answered. Odin hears him, and he sends an entire army straight from the halls of Valhalla.
And think about who could be in that army. You could get Odin back, Jane Foster as the mighty Thor, Heimdall, the Warriors 3, and here it is, a newly fallen Loki. This is the big connection, you guys. Doom killing Loki is the exact thing that would punch his ticket to Valhalla, setting him up for this epic, heroic return.
But there's a little bit of a catch. The thinking is, this huge "the cavalry is here" moment, it might be too big for Doomsday. You know, you don't play a trump card like that and then just lose again right away. This feels more like the big, tide-turning moment that they're saving for the grand finale in Avengers Secret Wars.
And the death reports don't stop with Loki, not by a long shot. The next one involves some of the characters we are most hyped to see make their big MCU debut.
Okay, get this. The same insider is saying that in the opening scene of the movie, Wolverine, Deadpool, and Tobey Maguire's Spider-Man are all killed. Their whole universe gets destroyed, and poof, they're gone. It just feels wrong, right? Like, what a massive waste of bringing these guys back.
But what if that's the point? What if we're supposed to think they're gone? What if this is all just a giant, clever misdirection pulled off by the one group who could actually do it? And this is the counter theory that just makes so much more sense. We see them die, or at least we think we do. But in the final seconds before their universe blinks out of existence, the TVA pops open a portal and just yanks them to safety. It gives you that jaw-dropping opening, but it keeps these huge characters in play for the real fight later.
Okay, so how does this all connect? Loki's death, Valhalla, the fake-out with Wolverine? This is where it all clicks. Because these terrible events, they aren't just random things happening to our heroes. Nope, they are the direct result of one character's master plan.
And this quote from the source says it all. Loki isn't just sitting back on his tree throne waiting for Doom to show up. He's the god of stories now, right? He's out there actively messing with the multiverse, trying to build a super team to fight what's coming. And that is what paints a giant target on his back for Doctor Doom.
And you can see the dominoes fall right here.
It all starts when Loki allegedly moves an old Steve Rogers to another Earth. That action helps kick off an incursion. Then, he uses that chaos as cover to save guys like Wolverine, Deadpool, and Spidey. See? He's building his team. But every single one of these moves is a direct poke in the eye to a control freak like Doctor Doom. He just can't let it stand.
So, here's the big takeaway. These aren't just 3 separate rumors. This is a story of cause and effect. It's Loki's grand plan to save everything that actually becomes the trigger for Doom's rage and leads him right to the TVA's doorstep.
So when you lay it all out, the story is actually pretty clear. You've got Loki, the god of stories, trying to write his own epic by building a multiversal Avengers. But in doing that, he pokes the bear, Doctor Doom, who responds with, overwhelming universe-ending force. He smashes the TVA, scatters the heroes, and leaves them with one last desperate hope, an army of legends from Valhalla.
And really, that's what this all boils down to, right? As we head into this huge 2-part finale, it's a battle of wills. 2 beings trying to force their version of order onto all of reality. So who wins? The god of stories or the god emperor?